And for those of you listening today, I'm going to share with you 3 tips. And those it will include what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, explain to the company what unique value you bring, and work in an industry or opportunity that you're passionate about. And I'm going to give you 3 tips that'll help you find that perfect job. So here we go, helping you find that perfect job. First thing to understand is that when you're looking for a job, good news is for you, there's a tight labor market, and this is working currently to your advantage. The unemployment rate, at least in the United States, is about 3%, and that is pretty much close to full employment. So a lot of employers are looking for you, but they haven't been finding enough candidates to fill open positions. So there's a good opportunity for you out there in the current environment. Everyone interviewing with that organization is qualified. I used to be a hiring manager and I've hired a lot of people. And I'm seeking not only people who are qualified, I'm seeking the most qualified people. And so your job is to ensure that you're the most qualified person for that position. And I don't read or interview everybody who I get a resume from. I probably going to physically interview less than 10 people, depending on the job, maybe even less than that. And so you have to find ways to stand out that makes you the person that I want to hire. Understand that skills or talents that got you the job will not keep you in that job. You have to grow or develop because jobs change. And this is one of the things that you want to ensure when you interview with companies, that you're willing to grow and develop. I recently spent some time with 2 hiring managers from the IT industry, and they only hire people with the backgrounds or degrees in computer science. And I was talking to them both, and both lamenting that they can't find people for a given position. And I said, well, they got all these college graduates who've got, degrees in IT. What's the problem? And they went on to explain what they're looking for. And it dawned on me, I said to them, what you're looking for is not in textbooks yet. And they said, that's right. And they're in an industry where if it's in a textbook, it's outdated. And you see that in IT, and you also see it in fields of medicine, medical research, and so forth. By the time it makes it to the textbook, it is outdated information. So one of the things you understand is, can you demonstrate that you're willing to change and grow as jobs change and grow? And seek out a coach that can help you find that dream job and prepare you to be the person the organization can't live without. And so we're going to help you in all of those aspects on this section. So here we go. This is from the study that Gallup did about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago now, how millennials and Gen Zs want to work. And you can see on the left those things that have been in the marketplace for years, and many of those things are disappearing in today's world. And you see on the right what many of the millennials have told researchers that they want and how they want to work and how they want to live. And the first one up there is my purpose. And this is my purpose, my cause, my belief. This is something bigger than you. And so and if I would give you an example, if I were to go to talk to a minister, I'd say, you have a purpose or a cause or a belief that's bigger than you. And every one of them is going to say, absolutely. And this is one of those things I'm going to help you today to develop, is that purpose or cause or belief about why you want to work in a particular industry or organization. And down the second from the bottom on the right, you see my strengths. And I'm going to focus to you today on your natural strengths. And we're going to help you build a purpose or cause, belief from your strengths. Many of you, or many of your parents in the past, when they worked for companies, they have the annual performance review, and the manager says, John, you did this well and this well, but here's all the things you need to fix. And that doesn't work, because there's some things that can never be fixed because they're just not in people's wheelhouses or strengths. And so one of the things that you want to do is work from your strengths, and we're going to help you do that. So how do we do that? Well, where do we start? We start with what do you value? What do you believe? And what is your purpose? Start with your natural talents, which are your thoughts, action, and behaviors that you exhibit on a daily basis. They're so natural to you, you may not even be conscious that you are doing these things. And one of the things I learned a long time ago as a hiring manager is you hire for talent and train for skill. And you see it in areas like medicine. I talk to medical school professors and I say, hey, how do you decide who gets into the orthopedic residency? And they all say the same things. Those with talent will emerge. And so as your coach, I take your talents and I help you create a talent map. And when we finish that talent map, you will say to me, that's me. We're going to take your natural strengths, we're going to bring them out, highlight them, and then you will, when we get it done, you'll say, that's me. So how did we do this process? Well, finding your strengths, we're going to use the Strength Finder survey. This is Gallup Strength Finder. There's 40 years of research behind this. It is a survey that takes about 30 minutes to do. It's 177 paired questions. And when you see your report, it is very unique to you. Chances of someone having the same themes as you in the same order as you is 1 in 33 million. And so it gives you your 34 strengths emerge in descending order. And if you had a friend or that had one of their same top 5 talents as you do, and you read theirs and they read yours, even though it's the same talent, they will both read differently. And because it's very specific to you as an individual. And what I do, or what we do, is we focus on your top 5 strengths, which are your signature themes. And I'm going to have you, or what you can do if you want by yourself, is pick the theme that resonates with you most out of those top 5. And you're going to pick keywords that describe you out of that, the statement that's talking about you. You can either highlight them or underline them or do whatever you want to do it. And then we're going to have you do the same thing for the other 4 signature themes. And then I'm going to have you, there are going to be overlapping keywords that are going to show up in there. And these are what you do naturally and what likely inspires you that you do well. And so we're going to then take those keywords that describe you, and we're going to have you write a phrase using those words that best describe your purpose. And you want it, when I have you do this, you're just going to put all those words from those top 5 themes on a piece of paper, and then you're going to use them all to create a purpose statement. And you're going to keep it short and sweet and to the point. And mine is bringing out the best in people. And if I were to share with you my top 5 themes, one of them is individualization, one of them is positivity, and one of them is self-assurance and confidence, one is maximizer, and one is arranger. And if you see that, one of the things of bringing out the best in people, well, that's individualization coming out. It's also my maximizer coming out. I want to help you bring out the best, maximize your opportunity. So I'm using my strengths in my own statement about how I work with you, if that's the circumstances, how we're going to work together. So you're going to have this brief statement about how you're going to work together. Then here's the secret sauce to your success. As your coach, I help you define what you value and what's your purpose or cause. And you're going to have a concise purpose statement that is yours and yours alone. It's exclusive to you, and I showed you mine just a few seconds ago. And this helps you find an industry that you are passionate about. And so when you know what it is that you believe and where you work best, it helps you define where it is or the industry that you want to work in. And then when you work in an organization that has a purpose that matches yours, you don't hate getting up early or going or working late or working weekends or whatever. And quite often you look at your timepiece in the afternoon and say, wow, where did this day go? You're not going to be leaving that organization after 8 months because you're bored or don't like your job or the organization, because they match you and you match them. And so this is one of those, why you have this exercise. It helps you find where it is that you work best. One of my clients found her perfect job and was hired on the first interview using what we're talking about here today. She is a sociology major. And when she was graduating from college, we went through this exercise, and she said, I want to work with teenagers or young adults who have difficulty assimilating into society. They can't go to the mall or to restaurants outside by themselves and so forth. And they have, and psychiatrists typically work with them and help them do that. But they also have sociologists who go into the home and help the individual in their home environment and then take them out into society, malls, restaurants, whatever the circumstance happens to be. And this young lady found that it was like her calling to wanting to help these people assimilate into society. And as she was graduating from college, I said, well, you know, these are physicians who do this, and you might want to look up on the state site and see, you know, the physician groups that have the licensing to do this. And she did, and she found a group of physicians within her community, and they were going to be at a career fest. And when they were at the career fest, she introduced herself to them, and they got an interview with them. And on the first interview, they hired her. She is now not only does the help with the individuals in their homes, the parents of the children love her, the interaction that she has with the kids respond to her, but she's also the recruiter for the physicians to bring in more people who have similar talents to do a similar function. And she loves her job. And when you interview with a company with similar values, you can explain what unique values and talents that you bring to the organization. And that's the secret sauce. If you can share, well, I've hired people and I've interviewed people, and I've had one lady I'm thinking of off the top of my head, when I'm interviewing, the hair on the back of my head started to tingle, because I said, this young lady gets it. She values what we do, and she has the talent to be one of the best people we've ever hired. In fact, that was the case. She was a rock star, or still is a rock star for that matter. So it's one of the things for you to consider. Well, finding like-minded organizations. 3 questions for you to answer. What type of organization matches my purpose? So if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And here's why I want you to match to that organization, because you have your purpose statement on to help guide you. Don't put blinders on or limit your search. It could be a state or local government, perhaps something you've never thought about, or it could be a nonprofit. Some of you may have done internships or something like that and at nonprofits. And so nonprofits are some place for you to focus as well. It doesn't always have to be for-profit organizations. Use social media like LinkedIn. You can put in keywords into LinkedIn and that express your value statement and see those companies that pop back up that reflect that. You may find startups, organizations that need your particular talents, and they will appear on organizations like LinkedIn because they are recruiting for individuals to come to work for whatever they do. And if you can read about organizations and look for their value statement, if they have one. Some organizations today have value statements, and they say, here's what we value, here's our purpose, our cause, our belief. And when I work with organizations and senior management, this is one of the things I have them express. They have to be able to put it out for them and express that kind of thought of why they exist. And at least figure out, as I have there on the screen for you, why does that organization exist? And if they're going to say, well, it's to make money, and I say to the CEO, no, dude, that's a result of what you do. Why do you exist? And so when you look for organizations there, and if they can have a reason for why they exist, and they can express it to you, or you can read about it, it gives you a leg up. Most people get their job through referrals. And so when you can find people through maybe your alumni organizations and colleges that'll help you, or use referral friends and colleagues to help you, it gives you a leg up, because that is the most likely way that you're going to do. Many organizations, ones that we did, we paid some of the money for employees to refer potential candidates to us. And so if you got referred to us and we hired you, whoever was referring person got a check for a certain amount of money for doing it. A lot of organizations do it, and quite frankly, one of the reasons why they do it is it's about the cheapest place that they can spend some money and find you. So a lot of organizations use it today. Give you some examples. You want to look for upcoming industry or association events that you might attend. And example, project management, human resource managers meet at least once a month. And so if you have an interest in either one of those, in any city in America, those two organizations have monthly meetings. And so something for you to consider then is those where they meet and when they meet. Develop an elevator speech. Well, what's an elevator speech? An elevator speech is where you can explain to me in 30 seconds or less, basically the time from get the doors closed to get to the third floor, what's your purpose or what's your cause or your belief. I can remember a 30-second purpose statement. I can't remember 2 minutes. And so if you want to stick in my mind and so forth, you want to have a purpose. And if you go to one of those association meetings or and they say, you meet a company and say, well, what do you do or what do you believe? And you can say, here's what I believe or what my purpose. And it's less than 30 seconds. They say, well, okay, can we talk to you? So one of the things you want to think about is developing an elevator speech. And then you're going to go for the interview. And I've hired a lot of people, so here's some things for you to consider. Understand, I'm not hiring you to do just one thing. I'm hiring you because you can do things for us based on your talents into the future. I don't need just a widget maker. I need a widget maker who can do other stuff. Maybe become a manager of widget makers, become a team lead of widget makers, become an internal recruiter for widget makers, all kinds of other things other than just making widgets. And you want to be able to demonstrate that you can do more things based on your talents and experiences. So if you can do that, that gives you a big advantage in the employer's eyes. Be prepared. One of the top reasons you can't get a job is showing no interest in the position. So if you have a cover letter, you should describe yourself, your work history using action words. And just go Google up action words, resume action words, and you'll get a ton of them. I don't read every word of your resume, quite frankly, because most of them are kind of boring reading. So things that stick out for my mind as I'm scanning through it are the action words. And be prepared to give examples of things listed on your resume. Why? I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you, tell me about a time where you did something that's in your resume. And we'll talk about that. Research the company, read their values if they have one. Show the interviewer how your strengths of purpose matched what the values of the organization are. Give a firm handshake, no fish or bone-crushing handshakes, and smile. Show your friendly side. We're all humans. When you come in, you say, hey, give me a firm handshake and smile. That gives you a leg up in my eyes. And when they ask, do you have any questions, make sure you do. Always ask questions like, what are the skills or qualities that help you succeed in this position? Tell me about a day in the life of the job. Interview the interviewer. Ask about opportunities for advancement, benefit packages. You're interviewing the companies as well. You're looking for that company that's best suited for you. And follow up. No follow up says you may not be that interested. So call the interviewer or HR for feedback. Send the people you interview with a note or an email thanking them for their time and consideration as well as your interest in the job. If you take the time to write a handwritten note to me saying, hey, thank you for the time, consideration, and follow up and however else you work, it gives you a huge advantage. And many hiring managers tell me, no follow-up, no job. And so follow-up is one of your key things that you need to do or understand. So if you looking for help in this regard, you can now see how to get in contact with me right there, Jan Makela at jlmakela@gmail.com. I give you my home line that you can call my business, or you can find me online at strengthbasedleadership.net. And I look forward to having the opportunity to work with many of you. Thank you for your time.